Okay. All right. So just to quickly give you a bit of background as to who we are. So we are Lake Health and Wellbeing. We are a registered nonprofit based here in St. Kitts and Nevis, and we focus on improving the health and well-being of our local, regional, and online community. And we do that in a number of ways. So we do research to try and understand what some of the health issues are. We do campaigns. So the recent campaign, and that's been ongoing for a while, is our You're Sweet Enough campaign. We also organize events. We also put on public health interventions, so various different projects to address particular issues. And then we also offer services to small organizations. So we do a little bit of consultancy as well. So the Water Challenge is a collaboration. So it's a collaboration between the Ministry of Health, SKN Moves, You're Sweet Enough, and Tap Water. And obviously the Water Challenge is part of the SKN Moves campaign. So for today, what we're going to do is that we're just going to give you a bit of background so that you understand where this challenge fits into the whole scheme of things. Unfortunately, we were going to hear from Vera Edwards-France, from the health educator from the Ministry of Health, but she can't attend today, so I'm going to present on her behalf. Then you'll hear, hello, good afternoon, please take a seat. So you're then going to hear from our advocacy officer, Michelle Baker. She's going to talk to you a little bit about the You're Sweet Enough project and campaign. Then I'm going to tell you a little bit about the Water Challenge. Just going to give you an overview and some instructions about the challenge. Then we're going to hear from Tap Water, our friends at Tap Water. They're going to talk about climate-friendly hydration. And then for those that are inside the room, what we're going to do is, we're going to do it slightly differently this year. We're going to calculate water targets for everyone based on your weight. So that's Will, and you've to answer that. Yeah, so based on your weights. So just for health and safety so that people don't overdrink during this water challenge. So we're going to be working on that as well. And that's the last thing we're going to do for this session. So just to give you a bit of background, so SKN Moves is a Ministry of Health initiative. It's actually part of a regional initiative called Caribbean Moves. And as you would see here, there are a number of other countries in the Caribbean that have Moves campaigns. So we have Trinidad and Tobago Moves, St. Lucia Moves, Jamaica Moves, and Barbados Moves. And I think there's also St. Vincent and the Grenadines Moves as well. So it is a regional campaign. I'm going to play a short video for you just so that you can get a feel for what Caribbean Moves is all about.
I now declare officially, Caribbean Moves has been launched.
What Caribbean Moves is about, it really is about having fun, enjoying your culture, enjoying your history, enjoying your identity, whether it is roti and curry or is ackee and saltfish, but do it in moderation.
We view it as a complementing wider effort to strengthen health systems to improve quality of life for citizens across the region.
We in Caribbean, we have a lot of fun, and sometimes we forget to do the little exercise and cut back on the salts, the sugars, and the fats, right? Part of the culture.
The timing of the commencement of Caribbean Moves provides member states with yet another platform to strengthen health promotion programs and increase the momentum of ongoing national programs for prevention and control of NCDs.
We love our culture, we love our food, we love our socialization, but if we overindulge in certain things, it's going to lead to another challenge.
Caribbean Moves will provide a gender-responsive, culturally appropriate, and inclusive framework for promoting physical activity and healthy eating through innovative, exciting, and supportive programs where people live, work, study, and play.
And so I want to say to Caribbean people, this is one movement for the Caribbean, for all of us, in the interest of all of us. And I really hope it grows and expands and not just becomes an event, but becomes a part of the new culture and the new dispensation. And remember to move.
All right, so that was just to give you a flavor of Caribbean Move. So it's a regional campaign, and the idea is really to try and get the region to be healthier, fitter, and just overall just improve the well-being of everyone in the region. So in terms of, sorry, apologies, in terms of SKN Moves, so SKN Moves aims to tackle non-communicable diseases through 3 pillars. So we have healthy eating, physical activity, and age-appropriate health checks. And so the whole campaign promotes these 3 areas. So every year, annually, SKN Moves hosts a 7-week campaign. And the idea of the 7-week campaign is really to educate and empower the whole nation. So educate and empower the whole nation. And so we have 7 weeks, and each week focuses on a different area. So week 1 is usually breastfeeding week. Week 2, you usually do SKN Moves Health Walk. Week 3, in your kitchen, a cooking competition. I don't know if that's still week 3. Okay. Yes. All right, cool. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Week 4 is this week. Well, not this week, the next week. Next week, healthy drinking. Week 5 is focusing on mindfulness. Week 6 is self-care and self-management. And then week 7 is Caribbean Wellness Week, which is not just for St. Kitts and Nevis, it's a regional week where we're celebrating the wellness and health of the region. So just to give you a flavor of what's already happened during this year's campaign. So week 1, as I said, there was breastfeeding week. So the Ministry of Health was out and about really promoting breastfeeding. So they presented their breastfeeding policy to the Prime Minister. They did a event with mothers here, and then they also trained nurses around breastfeeding. So it was a really interesting week. Week 2, we had the health walk, and so you can see participants from the health walk. I don't know if any of you were able to attend the health walk. Were you there? Oh, somebody sees themselves. So we had the health walk. So what you can do is, we still have quite a few weeks left to go. You're very welcome to participate in all of the events that are going on in terms of Caribbean Wellness Week, in terms of SKN Moves. So you can keep informed, so keep up to date. And the way that you can do that is that you can visit the Ministry of Health's Facebook page and Instagram page, and there'll be information on the page as to upcoming events for the SKN Moves campaign. And so, like I said, the campaign will end with Caribbean Wellness Week in September. So now I'm going to hand it over to Michelle, and Michelle's going to talk to us about healthy drinking. So over to you, Michelle.
Thank you, Abby. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us this evening. My name is Michelle Baker. As Abby stated, I am the Advocacy Officer with Your Sweet Enough, and I'm delighted to talk to you today about healthy drinking. So first, we'll speak about the benefits of drinking water, tips to stay hydrated, and drinking in moderation. And then we'll also talk about some of the indicators that you can pay attention to gauge if you need to drink a little bit more or a little less. So first, we'll cover the benefits of drinking water. So one of those is keeping a normal temperature. I know a couple of you, when you entered the room this afternoon, you said the place hot, right? So after that, you have to keep drinking our water, keep our temperature in a normal range. Another thing is lubricating and cushioning your joints. So water surrounds the joints in our bodies, in our knees, in our elbows. We have something called hyaluronic acid in our joints that binds to water to help our mobility. So we have to keep drinking that water for that. We also have our spinal cord and other sensitive tissues surrounded by water in our bodies. And we drink water, of course, to get rid of waste. So we get rid of bacteria, any byproducts that we don't need, from excretion to your urine, through your sweating, and through your bowel movements. And so also it would prevent constipation. Other benefits include moistening the tissues in your eyes, your nose, and mouth. So that same hyaluronic acid that I mentioned is in your knees, it's in your skin, it's in your eyes, and it binds to water to help our functioning. So we have to keep drinking water to keep those processes going. Another thing would be carrying nutrients to the cells, protecting your kidneys and liver by flushing out bacteria that we don't need and waste products that we don't need, and then dissolving minerals and nutrients. So certain minerals and nutrients that we intake needs water to dissolve and to be absorbed by our bodies. So the message here is water is the best choice. So I gave an example of a can of cranberry juice cocktail that I saw in my mother's fridge. And when I looked at the back of it, it said 106% of daily sugar for adults in that one can. Yes, in one can. And how many of us might drink something with a glass of juice at breakfast, and one with lunch, and then one with dinner, and then one some other time. So it all adds up. Just that one can was over the limit. So we have to pay attention to our nutrition and choose water when we can. So some tips to stay hydrated. I have a picture here of some infused water. You can try mint, you can try fruit, citrus, different things to give a little flavor to your water. Also eating fruits and vegetables that are high in water as well. And then another tip is to tie it to another part of your routine. So if you know there's something you already do every morning, you can drink water while you're doing that. For me, the first thing I do in the morning is take my allergy tablet. As soon as I take that tablet, I know I have this by my nightstand, for those on Zoom. I have this bottle by my nightstand, and I usually have it full before I go to sleep. When I wake up, I know I have to take my allergy tablet, and so I try to drink as much as this in the morning right away when I have my allergy tablet, maybe about halfway to start. And that way I'm already doing something that I regularly do and I add it to that. So that's just an example. Other tips is take it on the go, again, just like this bottle, and set a reasonable goal. So gradually increase your water intake. Don't try to drink an enormous amount of water. So like I said, I try to do like half of this. I'm not going to drink like 3 of these in the morning and then I feel sick, right? So reasonable goal. And then you want to track it. So you want to track it in an app, your calendar, set an alarm, and we'll talk about an app for this challenge later. And I also challenge friends, which is another part of this challenge. We're all here together and we're going to go through this challenge together this week. Well, this coming week. So talking about moderation, we have to keep in mind that everybody is different. We can't just make a general statement for everyone. So for each individual, you want to check your urine whenever you use the bathroom. That's an indicator. You should fall between nearly colorless to light yellow. Once you start getting to dark yellow, you know you need to start and increase that water intake. If you get to colorless, like it's completely clear, maybe ease back a little bit, so you kind of use that as a gauge. So other things you have to talk about is the weather. Again, the place hot. The place hot. So we want to up our water intake as the temperature increases, because we're going to lose more fluid in our sweat, right? And then also, as if you do more physical activity, you want to increase your water intake with that. Other things to consider include thirst and age. So something I find very interesting is the older we get, the more difficult it is for us to tell when we're thirsty. That sense of thirst decreases the older we get. And so sometimes as you get older, you need to be paying more attention to your urine, how often you go to the bathroom, setting alarms to remind yourselves, because that natural sense kind of, lessens as we age. The other thing is medication. If you are taking, for instance, B12, like I did this morning, it could cause the urine to be very yellow. Yes, can cause the urine to be very yellow. If you're taking diuretics, it causes you to lose water faster. If you're taking like ibuprofen and other pain medications, it could cause you to hold on to water. And if you keep drinking a lot of water, then you could get overhydrated. So these are all things that we can consider as we go through our water challenge. And that's the end of my healthy drinking speech, and I'm going to hand it back over to Abby. Thank you so much for listening.
Okay, great. So Michelle just gave us some really good background information as to why it is that we're focusing on healthy drinking for week 4 of SKN Moves, because it is very important for us to keep hydrated, has a lot of health benefits. So I'm going to talk to you just very briefly about Your Sweet Enough, because this healthy drinking week is also part of our Your Sweet Enough project. And so I'm going to just tell you a little bit about that before we go into the specifics of the actual challenge. So our Your Sweet Enough project has been ongoing for a couple of years. And so this is a project really to educate the public on the impact of the overconsumption of sweetened beverages. So like Michelle would have mentioned, there are a range of different beverages that are very, very high in sugar. And a lot of us are not realizing just how much sugar is in some of the beverages that we consume. So we wanted to educate the public about the harms of over-consuming these drinks. We know that over-consuming these drinks can lead to development of obesity and also non-communicable diseases like type 2 diabetes, hypertension, and those types of things. We also want to encourage the public to consume fewer sweetened drinks and to drink mostly water, hence why we're doing things like this Healthy Drinking Week and encouraging people to drink more water. And then we also want to do some work in terms of policy. So we want to advocate for policies and decisions by the government to reduce the public's consumption of sweetened beverages. And there are a range of options that we can advocate for, which I'll go through soon. So we've done a lot of work in terms of trying to raise awareness of the harms of sugar-sweetened beverages, to encourage people to drink more water. So you may have seen that we've done a couple of webinars and panel discussions. Our previous advocacy officer had a little slot every month on Island Tea where she was educating. Somebody's downstairs. Yeah, sorry. So educating the public about, the harms of sugar-sweetened beverages. So we've tried to really get out there and educate the public about these high sugar content drinks. As you know, we've been doing the water challenge. So these are just pictures from the previous water challenge. And here is the lovely Janesta winning her little prize. And then that's a group from a couple of years ago. So we've been doing events like this, again, to get people really engaged and to really think about drinking water and to really have some fun in the process. We also worked with schools as well. So we did the Your Sweet Enough School Dance Competition. Again, a different way of trying to engage young people. So young people learned how to do our Your Sweet Enough dance. They uploaded their videos and they competed. And really the point of this was to really try and reach children where they are. They like to dance, they like to have a bit of fun. So let's reach them where they are so that they can get the messages. And through this campaign, we're able to reach 13 schools, 79 participants, 28 videos were submitted, and Ross University very kindly donated some of the prizes. So they donated like water coolers, laptops, and tablets. Other things that we've done, we held like the whole discussion series, really just talking about sugar-sweetened beverages and the links to different aspects of our health, as well, just to get the conversation going and to really ensure that people had an understanding of the different ways that sugar-sweetened beverages can impact our health. We also had created some animations, and so we're very proud to have been shortlisted for the World Health Organization's Health for All Film Festival for our animation Meet the Wilberts, where we're basically just educating the public through animation around the harms of sugar-sweetened beverages. We also worked with various people within the community to help us to get our message out there. So we worked with Dr. Pierre, who's from the Medical and Dental Association, Pastor Connor, Scotty Hendrickson, who's from ZIZ, and Keisha Archibald, who is a business development officer at eZone. So we worked with a couple of people to help us raise awareness of the messages around the harms of sugar-sweetened beverages and to encourage the public to drink more water. We also did some surveys with the public to try and understand, what are people's opinions about sugar-sweetened beverages and water and various different things and non-communicable diseases. You can't really see it, but just to say that, there was a lot of concern. People were very concerned about non-communicable diseases in St. Kitts and Nevis. I think it was roughly about, I can't even see it, about 80% or 66% of people were very concerned about non-communicable diseases and overweight. And then 80% of people said that they thought the government should do something about tackling non-communicable diseases. So there is a lot of concern within the community about some of these issues, and hence why we're trying to do campaigns like this to get all of us healthy and fit. So we've also, like I said, as part of this campaign, we've engaged with a range of different stakeholders. So we worked with the Bar Association to see how lawyers can get involved in the health policy process. We did some work with young people in Skanaipa who were debating sugar-sweetened beverage policies. We had some event with civil servants, and then we've written to Parliament as well, so government ministers, to see if they can take action on non-communicable diseases through health policies. So the policies that we're advocating for really fall under what they call the NCD Best Buy. So these are policies that are recommended by the World Health Organization. And specifically for sugar-sweetened beverages, the recommendation is that we should increase the price of these drinks through taxation so that it reduces people's purchases of these drinks. And then Yeah, and then so it reduces people's consumption of these drinks, and then people turn more to healthier options. And then the idea is that the money that's raised from these taxes can then be used for public health matters. So it can be used to subsidize fruits and vegetables. It can be used for universal healthcare. So it can be used for public health matters. So really, it's a win-win for all of us. Other policies that we're advocating for are to restrict the sale and marketing of sugar-sweetened beverages in and around schools, but not just sugar-sweetened beverages, other unhealthy foods, because we want to have a healthy school environment. We want to protect our children from unhealthy items, and we want them to have access to healthy foods in the environment that they're in. And another policy that we're advocating for is front of package warning labels. And these are labels that are put on the front of products to highlight to consumers whether a product is high in sugar, high in salt, high in fat. And the idea there is that it's very hard sometimes to understand how unhealthy a product is, and these types of things can help. So those are some of the policies that we're advocating for. And so I don't know if anyone has any questions about your Sweet Enough project. If not, then we shall move on to the water challenge. So any questions so far about anything? No? Okie dokie. Anyone, any questions from Zoom, folks? Okay. Alrighty. Okay, so the water challenge. So the water challenge, like I said, this is the third year, I think, for the water challenge. So the water challenge is going to start next week, Monday, on the 21st of August. And what we want to do with the water challenge is really highlight the importance of healthy drinking, encourage everyone to drink more water, and encourage everyone to reduce their sugar-sweetened beverage consumption and their alcohol consumption. Because healthy drinking is not just about sugar-sweetened beverages and water, but it's also alcohol. So we want everyone, so we're using this as an opportunity to really try and promote healthy drinking. So in terms of the challenge, so the first step, and you can do it now if you would like, is that we're going to use an app called Aqua Alert, Water Tracker Remind app, and you can download that for free in the Google Play Store or Apple Store. So you can either try and download it now and just see how you like it, see if you're able to download it. And then what I would say, over the next week, you can familiarize yourself with the app, make sure that you know how to use it. And we're going to be using that app basically to track how much water you drink over the challenge period. So that's step one. So step one is to download Aqua Alert Water Tracker Remind app. So have you guys found it? Yeah. Okay, wonderful. So then you can go ahead and download that. Then step two in terms of the challenge is that once the challenge starts, on the home screen of the app, what we want you to do is record the amount of water you drink throughout the day, every day, from the 21st to the 26th of August. So that's the period that we want you to track your water intake. So it should be fairly straightforward to use. So you can sort of, as I say, you could play with it during this week. I guess Janessa has used it before, so hopefully. So hopefully, oh, the app's name, oh, sorry, so somebody is asking, what is the name of the app? So then the app is called, I've already forgotten, Aqua Alert. Aqua Alert. Yeah, Aqua Alert. So let me go back so that you can see it on the slide. Aqua Alert. So it's called Aqua Alert Water Tracker Remind app. And that's like the little icon for it here. Okay, alrighty. So like I said, you can, once the challenge starts, you can basically use that app to track how much water you're drinking over the period of the challenge. Okay. All right, so then step three. So at the end of the week, of the challenge, then what we want you to do is share a screenshot of your consumption table, which should look something like this. So basically it will tell you the days, as long as you input the information, it will tell you how much you had to drink for each of the days during that week. So we want you to cover the period from the 21st to the 26th of August. And then you can email that screenshot of your consumption to events@lakehealthandwellbeing.com. Or you can WhatsApp it to 765-8702. And this is very important because obviously this is what we're going to use to try and calculate who's going to be the winner of the challenge. So if you could submit those by the end of the day on the 27th of August, which is the Sunday, and then we'll be able to do all the calculations that we need to do to work out who's going to win. the challenge. Step 4 is optional. It'd be great if you could post a photo or video testimonial on social media in relation to your challenge and the experience that you're having with the challenge. And if you do decide to do that, you could use the hashtags, You're Sweet Enough, Water Challenge, SKN Moves, Healthy Drinking Week. Have I forgotten anything?
Yeah.
What have I forgotten?
7 week SKN.
Oh, okay.
I said,
You said, yeah, if you send, then that would be great. So we'll send the hashtags as well, more hashtags, and then you can tag us, Ministry of Health. You can also tag Tap Water, right? Yeah, Tap Water as well. So tag them so that we can all get involved and create like a bit of buzz around it. So, but it's optional. If you're not comfortable, that's okay. But these are pictures from the previous years of people who shared their experience. So for slide, we're going to change. Last year, we didn't do this, but we're going to do it for this year for health and safety reasons, just because there have been news reports and various different things of people drinking way too much water and creating some health problems. So for safety reasons, what we're going to do this year is we're going to calculate your water targets for each person. So for those in the room, we're going to do it today. We have the lovely team from Taiwanese ICDF, so they're going to weigh you, and then we're going to calculate your water target. We're going to put it in a table so that we'll know what your water target is for each day. So you calculate your water target, and then basically how we're going to do the prizes this year is the prizes for those who meet their target every day for the duration of the challenge. We're going to work out who does that. Okay. And me as well. Okay, well, we'll
do that in the profile setup.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. So it does it for you as well in the app, so that's great. But we'll calculate it so that we have that information as well, and then we can just keep track of that. So, so you can input it into the app, but we also would like to get that information as well. So for those of you that are on Zoom, if you could send us your water target for your weight as well during this week, so that we can just have all that information, so that when we're doing the working out who has won, or working out selecting who the winners will be, then we'll have all the information that we need to do that. So also what we're doing this year, thanks to the lovely Tap Water,
Yes.
so we're gonna have free water provided by Tap Water. So they'll be set up at various locations in Bastia. I think you're just gonna be in town, right? So they're gonna be set up. Mr. Farrell is gonna speak after this, and he'll tell you. So he'll tell you where they're going to be located. So if you're out and about, you've run out of water, or you just, you want to get some water, you can find a hydration station, you can fill up your bottle. But if there are people that are not in the challenge, but they're just thirsty, they can also have a drink, as well. So, so those will be set up across so that you can fill up your water bottles during the challenge. So somebody's asking how to calculate the water target. So the water target is basically your weight in pounds, right? Divided by 2. And then that will give you how much water you should be drinking in terms of ounces. Yeah. Yeah. So in ounces. So that's it there. So your body weight divided by 2, and then that will give you how much, and that's your body weight in pounds, right?
Yes.
Divided by 2, and then your weight, how much water you should be drinking in ounces. Okay, so hydration stations will be out and about. Okay, so we do have the WhatsApp group. I think most of you are in the WhatsApp group, and that's just for support, encouragement, tips, and important updates. So feel free to share encouragement, feel free to share tips, any information, pictures, if you're struggling, feel free to put that in the WhatsApp group as well, so that we can all kind of encourage each other. And most of all, have fun. So the whole idea really is for us to have fun. So have fun challenging yourself, and just try and drink some water. So any questions about the specifics of the water challenge? No? Okie dokie. So we're now gonna hand over to our friends from Tap Water. You don't have to,
Okay.
but I think so that they can see you. Right?
I'm not gonna sit. I can't.
You can't sit. Okay, so
Maybe a little
Mr.
difficult with the projector.
Yeah, let me see. It's gonna be hard to turn around.
So just you can
Yes.
switch back to your first screen.
but you can maximize.
Oh, yeah, okay, I'm with you, okay. So we're just switching over so that Mr. Farrell can do his little
Yes.
presentation. Escape that. So I need to. No, not that one, sorry. No? Why is it misbehaving? Why is it misbehaving? I might have to just like,
Yeah, that's fine.
okay. So then we need to like turn this around so that they can see you. Okay. Okay. Oh, somebody's, oh, the mic.
I can speak loud enough so you can hear, right?
Okay. So can you all hear Mr. Farrell?
Yes, can you hear me?
And can we hear?
Okay, so somebody raise their hand.
Oh, Shira's raised her hand. Shira, do you have a question? Oh, okay, you can hear. Okay, okay, great. Yes, so people can hear. Okay, all right, go. Go for it.
Good afternoon, everyone. So my name is Nigel Fire and my partner behind you is Sheila Joseph, and we are representing Top Water Caribbean. I'm a marketing consultant for them, so the idea of what we are doing is to create that same level of education that Abby is doing with the Jewish student now. Today, we're gonna have a little bit of fun. I don't like to talk, just talk. So I have 4 questions. I have technically 3 groups. I have the online group and the groups here. That sounds about right. I did 3, right? I did 3. See, I meant 4. Anyhow, and I'll ask each of you a question. You have 3 minutes to find the answers, and then we will talk about it, and then I'll get more into my presentation. That sounds good? Yeah, this is all about water too. Yeah, I'm all about water. So I'm gonna call you guys sweet. I'm gonna call you guys sugar. And online you are water. How is that? That works? Thumbs up, everybody? I guess so. Alrighty, here we go. So the here's my phone. Okay. All right, so your question is, there are 2 components that makes up water. Tell me what they are. 2 elements specifically, but you can go on your phones too. No, ask them. That, you're next. So, you know that one, eh? Yeah, you're not, you know this one too. What percentage of our human brain is made up of water? Okay? You there? Abby, I don't know if you need to type this to say what percentage of
This is
the
like,
earth is made up of water. That's the.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. And then we're gonna discuss how long can a human body or a human being go without food and water. Okay, we'll discuss that as a group. So 2 minutes starting now. So by it's 6:43 now, so by maybe 6:46. Stop it. Yeah, no, yeah, go ahead and discuss your stance and. No, you don't have to tell me, I'm saying, not, at least not now.
Nigel, the question for the online folks is what percentage of the earth is water?
Yes, correct.
okay. So for online people, if you didn't hear that,
So
just in case.
I'm saying earth, you're talking about sea and plants and living things, etc., etc. So it's not just.
So I don't know if you all are getting what we're doing, but for he split us up into groups. And so for those online, the question is what percent, yeah, so you're seeing it. Okay, great.
Thank you, online folks. We're, those of us in person, we have 2 minutes to come up with our answers. Just be patient.
So, you guys really understand the question, right? You understand your question, right? Two elements that. Okay, we are down to about maybe 45 seconds. So when you respond, you're gonna come here so that those online can actually see you. No, they can see you guys, you know, so you just come closer to me. All right, let's get started in the responses. Yes, please come. Tell me your name.
What's the name of this group again? Is it?
Yes,
Sugar?
Sugar.
Okay.
Okay.
Sweet sugar, yeah.
Okay, tell me your name.
My name is Denisha. And our,
Tell me the question.
our question was, what two elements make up water? So the first element is hydrogen, and the second element is oxygen,
All right, so we start one.
H2O.
Yay.
All right, who's your spokesperson?
Walking out the room.
She's walking. So who's gonna start?
By default.
Why did you so? All right, no problem. Okay, so tell us your name.
My name is Yasmin Powell, and we are sugar and sweet sugar.
That's right. Yes,
The brain has 85% on
85%. Okay, good job.
Yay.
it.
Now, in recent studies, they have actually found that it's less.
On her phone, she found
75%. Exactly, and that was from a national group study in the US, but which is where I found my responses was. So it could be
Yeah. her said-
earlier or limited data in terms of updates, okay? Okay, so who's gonna,
So, our online folks, your team is called Water. And we need you to nominate someone to give your answer, to put your mic on and give your answer for us. For the group.
Don't be shy.
Should I pick someone? Oh, here, I see somebody.
Hi, good night.
Good night.
My name is Kirida Finch.
Karida, okay, Karida, is
Hi.
it too much to show your face on camera?
My room is pretty
Okay,
dark.
that really didn't help much.
Let me turn on my light. Hold on.
Okay, go ahead and speak, we're listening.
Can you see me now?
Yeah.
Lovely, thank you.
Yes. Okay, so our question was what percentage of the earth is made up of water? And based on our research, it's approximately 71%.
Okay, great, thank you so much. And that
You're
that also involves not just the sea and the ocean, but also trees and plants, etc., correct?
Yes. Yes.
Perfect. All right, thank you very much. Okay, so the question for the room is how long can a human body or human being, sorry, go without water?
3 days.
Okay, 3 days? Anybody else?
Usually 1 week, we saw 1 week.
All right, who else? Anybody else want to give it a
So
shot?
anybody online, there's a
Online,
question
yeah.
online. So the question is, how long can the human body go without water? So does anybody online want to try that? So yeah, we have Miss Watley.
Good night, everyone. So,
Good night.
according to my research, a human can go without food and water for 8 to 21 days.
Okay, all right, anyone else?
72 hours.
Okay. All right, anyone else?
Anybody else online like to guess?
My research said 3 to 4. Sorry, good night. My research said 3 to 4 days. I'm not sure how accurate that is.
3 to 4 days.
Okay. All right, so everyone, great job. The answer is actually 1 week. And I'm gonna tell you later why it's 1 week. And in terms of food, you can do it. With no food is a month, actually.
Yeah.
You can go without food for an entire month, you'll be okay. And I'm talking about solid substance, okay? But when it comes to the body, a week. Now what happens after the first 48 hours? The body starts to use the water in the body to retain itself for the next 48. Now, by the time you get to like 4 days, 5 days, you're starting to feel the dryness in your lips and your throat is a little bit dry, but the body still has water. How much of the percentage of the body is made up of water? 75%. It takes a lot of effort to get 75% of water out of your body. You see what I'm saying? Because remember, that water is not just in the skin and the pores, it's also in your cells and your blood, etc., etc. You see what I'm saying? So just keep that in mind. So yes, so for those of you who give yourself a round of applause, good job, everybody. So now what we do here at Tap Water Caribbean is we found a way in which to understand the difference between drinking water and healthy drinking water. And it's a bold statement, but it's a true statement. Have ever heard of these companies called Pure and Brita? They've been around for a while. I mean, I'm sure you're old enough to. They started the whole idea of filtration. They started it, they were the engineers behind it. And what Tap Water have done is we've said, okay, we see what you're doing, but we want to do it better. Okay? So,
Oh yeah, I think I did. I just saw that.
So Tap Water was founded in 2014 in the UK. That's its original location. And it now has locations in Australia and Sweden, in the US and Canada. And now we are doing our mark here in the Caribbean. That's why we dub for Caribbean. Tap Water as a brand, like I said, specializes in filtration system. Our filtration system takes on what we call a 5-stage process, where our competitors are 3 and 4. Now, we did one thing different. How many of you know that strainer, a coconut makes really good strainers? You didn't know that? If you take a coconut and you break it down and you're able to get it to come together as a strainer, it will take out anything. So what we did is we created a layer outside of coconut strainer. You know, it sounds weird, huh? Yeah. Yeah, but it actually, so what is happening is inside the main carbon, which is what most filtration is made of, is inside. And outside of it, the layer, not this hard thing, but the actual filter inside, I can't take it out, is actually a coconut engineer. So it allows us to be able to not use the concept of reverse osmosis, but full filtration, which means that we can remove up to 99.5% of any component it comes across, even salt water. And I'll tell you a story about that in a minute. Now, what happens with this process is that it goes in and each level, it does its own processes. And those processes remove up to things like chlorine, microplastic, lime grease, heavy metals. Now, some of you are thinking, you know, that's great and everything, but what's important you need to know is that these are things that are in the actual water we drink from our pipes. Now, why do the water department does chlorination? Because they know that by the time it gets to you, it might get contaminated again. Some of the pipes are old or whatever the distribution process might be. So what they're saying is, we're trying to minimize how contaminated the water is. But you can't completely do that unless you have another means of filtering. Because some of these pipes are almost 100 years old. They've been sitting, laid down, reused, not maintained. So you just can imagine the possibilities of that. So when we designed this concept and in terms of piggybacking with tap water, we noticed that there was a need to bring that to people's phone, give you that option to be able to drink clean healthy water. Plus, it allows us to eliminate single-use plastic, because that's the goal. I mean, one of these filters can save 600 bottles. One of these filters, it gives you 6 months of filtration, and it gives you 2,400 liters of water, just for $189. So, but here's the part that's crazy: the savings isn't unheard of. If we were to do a liter per bottle, and we spend 3 liters to refill a bottle, 3 liters to fill a bottle, correct? We're saving $2,400 in 6 months. Now, hindsight is 2020. Who's going to sit down and put that dollar down every single day to see exactly how much they're saving? But the reality of it is, just think about it. You go to town, you bought a bottle of water in one store, buy another one in another store, go home, drink from the one that you just refilled. Before you know it, you've already spent like $5, $6 just in that day alone. But if you have a unit like this at your home, attached to your faucet, you can be able to just fill your water up and you're good to go. All right. Now, like I said, the difference between what you drink versus what comes out of these filters is that it's much fresher and it's much cleaner. And I'll tell you why. Because contaminants is what gives water a taste. Because in actual fact, water doesn't have a taste. It's a natural element. So, and any of you ever drink distilled water? Well, drink distilled without the fuzz, and that is what is considered one of the natural drinking water. So when you drink, you're supposed to have a fresh, clean kind of feeling when you're drinking the water. Not, okay, like someone told me the other day, Island Purified tastes different than Dasani, and Dasani tastes different than Nelson. Because there are still contaminants in those waters. That is why they have a taste. Our tongue is not designed to respond to taste of water. It's not for that. It's for things like sugar, base, beverages, or things with flavor and spice and all of these different things. So whenever you come across that, you know that water has contaminants in it. I went to a function a couple of days ago. They were serving a bottle of water, and I turned to my partner and I said, "I ain't drinking that." She said, "Why?" I said, "It's not that way." That's it. But the point that I was making is, when I actually did taste it, because I wanted to, it actually tasted terrible. Now, I'm saying to myself, is my tongue starting to adjust to clean water? So all of a sudden now, but that's what it is. It's now adapting, and it's creating adaptation. Jasmine and I is from the village. We grew up running around drinking from the pipe. So I drink all that water all the days of my life, but it didn't do anything for me until one particular day, when I learned that our bodies cannot take on chlorination for a long period of time. Eventually, it will do things to our bodies that we don't like. So with this coming on stream, we were very excited to be a part of it and be able to present it to you. So this is our Ultra unit. It goes for $189. It fits onto your faucet. When it's on your faucet, the lever, when it's up, it allows you to filter. When it's down, it allows you to use your tap. So you can wash your dishes, you can wash your foods, vegetables, whatever. But once the filtration is up, then it comes through here. Okay. Now, as you can see, I just popped it right into it. It's very easy to change the filter. We have it on stock here. We don't take it in the frigate bin. So it's kind of like a do it yourself. All right. So let me run through the other products real quick, so I don't take too long. So we, in the event that you do not have a standard faucet, because some of us like to be fancy and we get these faucets that have the nozzle and we are doing this, you can always get this. This is 1.5 liter bottle, and the filtration is in here, as you can see. Very easy to remove the filter. Like I said, they make it very easy. Now, someone asks us, why is this straw at the back? So when you fill it up, what happens is you pour and it filters. Okay? You don't take this out and try to drink it. You pour it and it filters. So in that process, it allows us to be able to do something very interesting. So we've engineered this where it actually raises the alkalinity or the pH that goes in. So in our federation, our pH is anywhere between 6.7 to 7 on a good day. So if you add the tap water from your tap and you pour, it will add 1.5 to it. So you're now getting anywhere between 8 or give or take. So this offers that. This is 150 EC. Now, in the event that we have a winner for our challenge, we have our new product, which is our Bottle Coke. It's a 25 ounce liter bottle, 25 ounce bottle. It is insulated, so you can do hot and cold. It actually keeps hot up to 12 hours, cold up to 36 hours. You keep the straw in it for the purpose of water mainly, because all right, here we go. It has a built-in filter. Now, what's interesting about this filter is this particular filter can manage any kind of environment. But we also have another filter for, like, if you go hiking or if you go in a stream or whatever, or you decide to be as crazy as I am and drink from the pond in the square. And I did it. No, I did it. I have a video for it as well. And it actually filtered it. Yeah, I know. Because when I found out from one of the attendants, they like, Nigel, people pee in that water, people poop in that water. I'm like, oh my God. But I'm still alive. So it worked. And if you're throwing any kind of pot, we encourage you to remove the straw. And you can use it just like that if you want to. Okay. And if you're doing any other type of liquid, you know, if you want to throw a margarita or something in here, you just have to take out the filter because it will filter your margarita. Okay. Just telling you, okay? All right, but this one is 189 EC. We are for the participants, Ali, for this event who registered, we're willing to give 50% discount to them if they want to, but it's just I'm putting that on record. The executive board can. So, and for those who have noticed that sometimes the water is hard, it's lime, it's greasy, we have our shower flow, which connects from your pipe, and then your shower head goes underneath, and it filters into underneath. Okay? We are not about the competition, so we don't get into any discussions about the bottled water companies. But we are about eliminating single-use plastic. We do have, if you check our Facebook page, every month, we give you a count of how many bottles that we would have saved as a result of persons purchasing. Be up to 93,000 already. So please come on board and be a part of the advocacy effort, not just from what's happening here, but you're seeing it coming from the level of government. As a matter of fact, I heard in the grapevines that this No Plastic Monday is going to be permanent starting in September. You know, so these are the things that's coming, and then eventually the banning of input and plastic in a whole. So we kind of have to get ready mentally for it, because at the end of the day, this is water is life, and it's very, very important to have fresh drinking water. Right? Thank you.
All righty, thank you.
That's right. No, my partner is reminding me one important thing. Whenever filtration happens, it removes some components from water. But one of the things that we've done with our engineering is that we retain the minerals and calcium that water needs to be able to remain healthy. I just needed to come there.
Okay. All right, wonderful. So just thank you, Mr. Farrell, for okay.
The filters, because all of them have the replacement filters.
Yes, all of them have replacement filters. So
The light is 6 months for all of them.
no, the 6 months for the ultra, you can put that, so they can see 6 months for that one. 3 to 4 months for that one, 2 months for that one, and 6 months for that. Okay, so each of them, and mind you, that is also based on usage as well. Because we also have an app that whenever you purchase the product, you enter the liter amount per day that you normally would drink.
Okay.
And then that would be able to keep a track of like how much. So it reminds you, hey, the filter is about to get changed, but we also remind you as well. We will contact you, email, text, whatever, and say, hey, because you're going to a system that we have locally. Okay?
Okay, wonderful. So thank you to Mr. Farrell for just giving us a brief overview of tap water and the products that they have. They are come on board as a partner for the Water Challenge. So they will be donating prizes and they are providing the hydration stations as well.
And so
So
the
that-
hydration station.
Oh, yes, location.
Location. Right now, we have the square, which is central, but in the next 2 days, I will announce with Abby the other 2 locations.
Okay,
So
great.
she can circulate. that
Yeah,
information.
yeah, so you can circulate.
And in one of the pictures, you showed our new product,
Mhm.
which is our do-it-yourself. And it's basically like a kiosk. So you just put your feet on the lever, put your water, it fills up, remove your feet, and it stops running. Okay,
Great.
yeah.
So yeah, so you have the opportunity. So during the water challenge, if you ever need to fill up your water bottle, then you can go to a hydration station and we'll give you, as Mr. Farrell said, more specific information about where
Yes.
the hydration stations will be located so that you can go and fill up your water bottles. So with all that being said, we just want to thank everyone for their time. So we're winding down now. Just thank you everyone for joining us. Hope you found the session useful and informative. For those of you that joined late, who may not have heard about the steps for the water challenge, this session where I'm recording this, so we're recording this, so we'll be able to share the recording with you so that you can go back and listen, and then you'll find out a little bit more about the specifics of the water challenge. Apart from that, we'll put some updates in the chat so that you have some information specifically about the water challenge as well. And then for those of you who are not in the WhatsApp group, because I know a couple of people didn't want to be in the WhatsApp group, we'll also email you the information as well so that you have that information. So I would just like to thank Michelle for her presentation. So thank you, Michelle, for her presentation. Thank you to Mr. Farrell
Thank you.
and Sheena for joining us as well to give a presentation. Thank you to the Ministry of Health. They weren't able to make it today. I presented on their behalf. So thank you to the Ministry of Health. Thank you to everyone for joining. What we're going to do now, for those people that are in the room, we're going to calculate your water target. So thank you to the Taiwanese ICDF. They're going to weigh you. And then we're going to calculate what your water targets will be. For those of you that are on Zoom, if you're at home, if you could try and calculate your water target. So just a reminder that it's your weight divided by weight in pounds divided by 2 will give you a water target in ounces. And so if you could work that out and send that to us, well, you could send it either by email, you could WhatsApp it as well privately, so that we know what your water targets are, so that we can calculate, select the winner at the end of the challenge. So does anybody have any questions before we close? Any questions? Any questions? Any questions from the Zoom folks? I hope everything was clear. Okay, so if no questions, then we're gonna call it a day. So for those folks on Zoom, like I said, have a nice
question.
evening. Oh,
Quick
Karida,
question for me.
yeah. Go ahead, Karida.
Yes, I'm trying to calculate the water target.
Yeah,
You said it's your weight divided by 2.
your weight, yeah,
So
divided by,
my weight is currently 168 pounds divided by 2.
yes.
Yes.
So that would be 80
Yes.
or
So I
84
got 84.
ounces.
Is that my water target? Like how
That's
would
your
I
water target for your target for
so that
the
would be
day.
84 ounces?
Yeah, every day.
Oh, okay.
for the day, not the week.
Yes, so that's 2.4 liters a day.
So 2.4 liters a day for
Okay,
you. So
thank
I'll
you.
even write that down so that I know what yours, and I know what Karita's is. And then if everybody else can calculate their water target and then just either email it to me, or if you're comfortable to put it in the chat, you're very welcome to do that. In the meantime, we're gonna sort out people in the room. So
So I'm going to invite all of you to the kitchen.
Yeah.
Because the floor there is solid.
okay, and that's a good place to be because we're also gonna give you some fruit. So so folks on Zoom, thank you so much for joining us. And we'll be in touch through the WhatsApp group and also via email. And like I said, we'll send you the recording for those that joined late, because I know a couple of people joined late, so that you have all the information. So thank you so much. Any last questions or comments from the Zoom folks? No? All right.
Yes,
then.
one
So
last
thank you so much.
question.
Oh,
So yes, there's a question.
yes, okay, great.
There's a question, Abby.
Yeah, go for it. You can ask your question.
If for any particular day, you're hearing me?
Yeah, so you said if,
Are you hearing me?
yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Yes, I'm asking if any particular day you're not meeting your water target, how does that affect your body apart from becoming dehydrated?
Oh, if you're not meeting your water target, how does that affect your body? Is that the question?
Yes. Yes, that's the question.
Question, right?
She said besides being
Dehydrated, how does that? Well, remember all the benefits that Michelle went through around what the benefits of water are. So if you're not meeting your water target, you may not necessarily reap all of those benefits in terms of, waste excretion, all of those types of things. But if you can get to as close to your target every day, that would be best for your health. I don't know if you want to add anything.
And most importantly, pay attention to how you're feeling individually.
Yeah.
If you are taking any particular medications, so pay attention to your unique body and what you are feeling, your
Yeah.
thirst level, your urine color. Pay attention to your body. But aim for that
Oh.
target. If you notice anything else, then you make changes accordingly.
Yeah.
If your urine is dark yellow, you need more water. If it's colorless, maybe ease up a bit and pay attention to those feelings.
Yeah. Great stuff.
And if just a point, if you're not accustomed to that level of intake, I would recommend that you start at maybe 70% of what your target is, and then gradually get.
And they can use that
week to
start.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this week, yeah, that's a good point. So this week, you can start preparing and practicing to drink,
That's right.
get to your target, so that when you're doing the challenge next week, it's probably not such a great shock to your body and your system. So that's a good way to do it. All right, so you're welcome, Karita. Yeah, it could be flavored, just as long as you don't add any sugar, no sugar, no nothing like that. Yeah.
When they read, can we get a picture?
Oh, yeah, we together. Yeah, a group picture would be nice. Yeah, a group picture would be nice.
No, they're in the way, they're in one that.
Oh, Javid said he's not able to hear. what
Oh,
you're
cannot
saying.
hear. Javid cannot
So
hear.
maybe we can let him know in the chat that we will provide a
Yeah.
recording of this session. So thank you everyone online. And we look forward to our water challenge next week, and keep an eye on the WhatsApp group for any further updates. Thank you so much for joining us this evening.
Yeah, thank you so much. So we're gonna log off now. And like I said, in the meantime, if you all could calculate your water
You're
targets and
welcome.
send us, oh, you're welcome. Then we'll just have a record of that so that we can keep track. All right, have a good evening. Bye everybody. Thank you so much.
Here's wave me.